One Ballon d'Or winner. One back-to-back La Liga Golden Boot winner.
Out here.
Down the centre, it's Kylian Mbappé, and then the ball has reached him, and Mbappé has scored inside 4 minutes.
One nonchalant guy dominating the Bundesliga.
Olise, la costola Pixel av del. Jag kan spajer på Real Madrid i Magama. Jag kan spajer på Real Madrid i Magama. Olise på Real Madrid i Magama. Michael Olise. Vi Bayern Diedasi.
Three names, one national team. A squad valued at 1.56 billion euros, ranked number 1 in the world.
They're absolutely fantastic, and maybe better than the 98 team.
There are nations that would sacrifice everything just to have one of these names. But France, they have an entire list of game changers. Get ready, because in just a few days, all of them will assemble in North America, together, to dominate the biggest stage in the world.
So for me, France's biggest rival is France. If they can get out of their own way and just allow some of these players to really showcase what they're capable of, on paper, they are stronger than everybody else, and that includes Spain. You can make arguments for others if you so desire, but...
So when every piece finally clicks into place, who exactly is good enough to stop this French monster army?
The World Cup 26 is around the corner. I want to know, how do we even beat France's team?
Let the numbers tell the story of just how terrifying this squad really is. As the reigning number 1 team in the FIFA rankings, France cruised through qualification with 16 points from 6 matches, keeping 4 clean sheets while barely breaking a sweat. This squad is a collection of superstars from Real Madrid, PSG, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, and AC Milan. Among them are 7 Premier League players, 5 PSG stars, and notably a 35-year-old midfielder who returned from Turkey looking as if he had just finished an extended holiday. If you're a defender preparing to face this team, honestly, I feel sorry for you. And that's not even a joke.
When you saw that forwards list, it's really impressive. I don't think there's any other country in the world that has this kind of attacking power. The starters to start with, whether it's Dembele, Olise and Mbappé, they're locked in with Barcola or Doué or Cherki on the left-hand side. But even on the bench, Akliouche is a wonderful talent. Marcus Thuram starts to have good experience and he's really solid to come on late. Even Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's maybe one of the surprises, inclusion for Deschamps in there, as we saw in the Conference League final on Wednesday night, can come on for the last 10 minutes and bring something very different.
Rather than simply listing names and calling it analysis, let's break down exactly why this squad is a nightmare for every opponent, starting right at the very top. Starting with Kylian Mbappé, the unstoppable force and a man rewriting football history.
Mbappé! Mbappé! Gets it through! He's done it again!
425 goals in 565 matches, 18 major trophies before even turning 27. Just think about that. With at least 8 or 9 prime years still ahead of him, Mbappé continuing to destroy records at this pace almost feels illegal. In his debut 2024-25 season at Real Madrid, the French superstar immediately established his dominance at the Bernabeu with 44 goals in 59 appearances, an unprecedented milestone in Los Blancos' history. As if that wasn't enough, he also became the first player to win a Golden Boot in Europe's top 5 leagues across 8 consecutive seasons, while securing a second consecutive Pichichi trophy.
I think it was Mbappé that kept the game that way, because 2 chances, 2 goals, finish. I told my players, we don't fear the team, but we have to fear the players.
Heading into this World Cup campaign with 12 career World Cup goals, Mbappé has only 1 target, breaking the all-time record of 16 goals set by the legendary Miroslav Klose. The gap is now just 4 goals, a mark entirely within reach for the French superstar, who could have up to 7 matches to officially become the greatest goalscorer in World Cup history.
Ja, ich bin davon überzeugt. Es sind ja jetzt mehrere Spiele bei Weltmeisterschaften, mehr Mannschaften, also automatisch mehr Spiele und ich glaube, dass Messi oder Kylian Mbappé, einer von den beiden, könnte schon sein, dass die den Rekord knacken, was für mich überhaupt kein Problem ist.
Under Didier Deschamps, Mbappé operates within a system where he always seems to shine brightest. A team that understands exactly who he is and knows precisely how to unleash the goal-scoring monster within him. The memories of the 2022 World Cup remain vivid when he produced an unprecedented hat-trick in the breathtaking final against Argentina. Although France ultimately suffered heartbreak in the penalty shootout, that tournament immortalised Mbappé through one of the greatest individual performances football has ever seen.
Thuram! Mbappé! Oh, wow! He is an awesome force of nature! Brutal and brilliant!
He fell at the summit, but Mbappé got back up. He kept moving forward after that historic hat-trick. It almost feels as though the footballing universe still owes him something in return. And now, at the 2026 World Cup, with closers' record sitting just 4 goals away, and a supporting cast stronger than ever before, Mbappé enters the tournament carrying a hunger for glory that nobody on earth seems capable of stopping. And just when you think France are already terrifying enough with a player like Mbappé, they unveil even more weapons capable of frightening the entire football world.
Sens du but, ils le font bien avec Olise, avec Mbappé, avec Olise maintenant le pied droit. Oui. Oui. Dembélé. Oui. 80e minute. Ça fait 2 partout.
35 goals and 16 assists in a single season. There is no luck involved here, no temporary hot streak. This player has just completed one of the most complete campaigns in League One history, officially turning Ousmane Dembélé into the winner of the 2025 Ballon d'Or. Think back for a moment. It wasn't long ago that people mocked Dembele as one of the most disappointing and expensive transfers in Barcelona history. A player constantly struggling with fitness, permanently associated with the word potential, but never quite reaching the summit.
Theo Alemany has told Dembele that he is to find a new club, basically. That's why he wasn't selected for tonight's game. He said, we've told him and his agents that they should leave immediately because we want players that are committed to this project.
But at PSG, under the guidance of Luis Enrique, everything changed. Dembele didn't just become good, he became unstoppable. Just look at his Champions League 2024-25 campaign. 8 goals and 6 assists in 15 matches, highlighted by a 2-assist masterclass in the 5-0 destruction of Inter Milan, the biggest victory ever recorded in a Champions League final.
And I think he's the best player this season by a long term, and I think he deserves to win everything because he gave everything to the team, and the team is going to achieve trophies, that which is the most important thing for a club.
Now imagine trying to mark a monster who is equally comfortable with both feet, possesses lightning speed, and reads space with the precision of a GPS system immediately after the best season of his career. And on top of that, he's lining up alongside Kylian Mbappé. That's no longer an ordinary attacking partnership. It's a dangerous restraining order against opposition goalkeepers waiting to be enforced. If Mbappé is the storm and Dembélé is the lightning, then Olise is the silent poison that finishes off every defence. The arrival of this young star has officially transformed France's attack into the most terrifying nightmare in world football.
Et de fêter sa 6e sélection. Oh ouais, 6e sélection. La 52e minute. Michael Olise récompensé de son très bon match jusqu'ici. Et cette fois-ci.
At just 24 years old and only 2 seasons into his Bayern Munich career, Michael Olise has already become the kind of player who keeps opposing managers awake at 3 a.m. In his debut season alone, he immediately claimed Bayern's Player of the Season award with 12 goals and 15 assists, leading the entire Bundesliga in chance creation. Then came the 2025-26 campaign, where Olise elevated his game even further, dominating the league with 18 assists, 5 more than the next closest player, while adding 13 goals of his own alongside 5 goals and 8 assists in the Champions League. This man doesn't merely contribute to attacking play, he designs attacks as if he possesses a tactical blueprint that nobody else can read.
And then he arrived with a mentality that gives him a chance to be one of the best players in the world. He's very detailed in the work he does. And I've said it before, of working with top talents. I don't want to compare the players because they are not the same players at all, but the mentality when I played with Kevin De Bruyne, I was lucky to watch him come through as a young player and see him become a superstar, a world star. And I saw the whole process, and it is that obsession for detail. Michael has that. He's on a very, very good trajectory, and it's a pleasure to witness it.
What makes Olise truly frightening is how naturally he fits into the French national team system, whether starting on the right flank and cutting inside onto his left foot, or drifting centrally to create chaos between the lines. He leaves defenders helpless. Deschamps doesn't even need to construct a rigid role for him. Olise always seems capable of creating his own space wherever he goes. At only 24 years old, he arrives at the World Cup ready to explode on the biggest stage of his life. It's genuinely terrifying. After witnessing the devastation that Mbappé, Dembele and Olise can cause together, some people still search for flaws and ask, okay, the attack is ridiculous, but what about the defence? A perfectly fair question, and this is the answer that silences everyone.
Screaming out at your corner, that's a trap. Screaming out at your homie, that's a rat. Catch a case with him, bet he crack. The odds against you and they double stack. Stay woke. But my mom in new crib, that's some gangster. Niece and nephews walking.
William Saliba. At 25 years old, he has just won the Premier League with Arsenal and continues to rank among the 3 best centre-backs in the toughest league on the planet. Blessed with ideal physical attributes, explosive pace, and the ability to read the game like a seasoned veteran, Saliba has reached a level of maturity that many players spend an entire career trying to achieve.
Well, obviously Saliba is making very good steps at the moment. Yeah, he's on the first one I just have in mind now. You know, he's doing a good job. When I was that age, I was nowhere near where he was today, and obviously that's the beauty of football as well, you know. Alongside Saliba stands the powerful dare yacht Upamecano, dominant in the air, physically imposing, and becoming increasingly complete at Bayern Munich. If Deschamps needs a left-sided alternative, Ibrahima Konate, a defender who has proven his quality year after year at Liverpool, is always ready for battle. And guarding the highest position of all, between the posts, stands Mike Maignan. With 12 clean sheets in Serie A this season, he's far more than a goalkeeper. Maignan is a modern sweeper keeper, an elite distributor, and a final line of defence who somehow makes extraordinary saves feel routine every single week. France keeping 4 clean sheets in 6 qualification matches was no accident whatsoever. Behind that statistic lies a solid structure and a ruthlessly practical football philosophy. Didier Deschamps is building a team capable of winning ugly when necessary, because at a brutal tournament like the World Cup, survival often demands exactly that kind of resilience. Now let's move to midfield, because this is where Deschamps' true tactical genius becomes most visible. At the heart of it sits Aurélien Tchouaméni, Real Madrid's defensive wall, who can play football as elegantly as he destroys attacks.
And it's Tchouaméni! A blockbuster goal! Just losing out now, Tchouaméni can advance into that space. Ziyech tried to stop him and couldn't. It's Mbappé! And hooked out by Yannick, I'm not sure.
And Eduardo Camavinga. Well, Camavinga isn't even in the squad. Deschamps left him out entirely, despite an impressive Champions League resume. That alone tells you everything about the terrifying depth of France's midfield options. Instead, Deschamps has placed his trust in Adrien Rabiot, who is enjoying an outstanding season with AC Milan. A midfielder who has been written off and doubted more times than a bounced check, yet somehow always manages to become exactly what France needs. Relentless energy, complete box-to-box coverage, and aggression in every pressing sequence. And finally, there is N'Golo Kanté. At 35 years old, having recently returned from Turkey, he has once again received the call-up. Many rush to dismiss it as a nostalgic gesture, a ceremonial reward for past achievements. Those people clearly haven't watched Kanté dominate midfield battles this season.
En plus de tricher, maintenant t'arrives en retard. Ouais, c'est le train, moi. Quel le train? Le train. Il y avait un colis. Descends du train, tu vas plus vite que le train.
Kanté has never needed to be the best player on the pitch. He simply needs to appear wherever the ball happens to be. In a tournament where protecting the defence is paramount, having Kanté in midfield is like purchasing premium insurance, hiring a world-class bodyguard, and installing an emergency alarm system all at once, packaged neatly inside a number 13 shirt. Didier Deschamps has never been football's flashiest tactician. He doesn't care about artistic awards for possession statistics. But the one thing he does, and does better than almost anyone else in the game, is lift trophies. His preferred 4-2-3 one-system functions like a precision-engineered machine. Tchouaméni and Rabiot operate as a double pivot, forming a protective shield in front of the back four. Jules Koundé provides stability on the right flank, balanced by the explosive Theo Hernandez on the left. In the number 10 role, Ryan Cherki or Michael Olise acts as the creative brain linking midfield to attack. And ahead of them, Kylian Mbappé leads the line as the spearhead, supported by Dembele from the left and Olise from the right. A destructive formation, seemingly designed for one purpose only, winning the throne. The greatest strength of Deschamps' system is its flexibility. When protecting a lead, France can instantly drop into a compact 4-4-2 block, suffocating space and daring opponents to break them down. When chasing a goal, Mbappé drifts wide, Dembele moves centrally, and suddenly opposing defenders descend into chaos because nobody knows who should be marking who. Throughout qualification, France averaged 68.3% possession across 6 matches. They controlled games without becoming obsessed with sterile domination. That perfect balance, the ability to shift seamlessly between cold pragmatism and ruthless destruction, is what makes this team such an unsolvable puzzle. A tactical analysis from the hard tackle summarised the fear factor perfectly. Mbappé changes opponent behaviour before the match even starts. Think about that for a second. Before kickoff has even arrived, the threat of Mbappé alone is enough to force opponents into compromising and tearing apart their own game plans. When one player can already damage your confidence before the match begins, imagine what this entire squad can do to its group stage opponents. At this World Cup, France find themselves in Group I. On paper, it looks extremely favourable, but don't let the numbers fool you. Iraq returned to the World Cup after 40 long years away, a wonderful story of perseverance and inspiration, but at this level, against a French side of overwhelming quality, Deschamps can realistically afford to rotate his squad, rest Mbappé, and hand opportunities to young talents such as Desiré Doué and Bradley Barcola. A comfortable 3-0 victory is well within reach. Senegal, however, are a completely different story. Currently ranked 19th in the world, they are a genuine African powerhouse, capable of bringing down any giant on the right day. France remain favourites, but total concentration will be essential if they want to avoid an upset. And finally, Norway. After a 28-year absence, they have officially returned to the World Cup stage. Their squad is led by Erling Haaland, arguably the most dangerous traditional striker on the planet outside of Kylian Mbappé. Behind him stands Martin Odegaard orchestrating play, supported by a defensive structure that continues to improve. This will be a genuine heavyweight test for Deschamps' defensive wall.
The physical challenge that Norway will present, this French team will be very interesting to see how Deschamps deals with it. This game is going to rely a lot on Mbappé and Haaland to win it for their team.
And this is what makes this French team more frightening than ever before. Their manager enters the tournament with absolutely nothing left to lose. Didier Deschamps has publicly and unequivocally confirmed that this will be his final tournament as head coach. After 14 years in charge, after the triumph of the 2018 World Cup, the 2021 Nations League, and the unforgettable 2022 World Cup final, the final chapter of a historic reign has arrived. He is no longer coaching for contracts. He isn't worried about being fired. Didier Deschamps is fighting for one thing only: legacy.
France head coach Didier Deschamps has confirmed that he will leave his role after the 2026 World Cup. Deschamps, who took over from the fellow 1998 World Cup winner Laurent Blanc in 2012 and led France to the World Cup title in 2018, confirmed the news on French TV this morning.
Yeah, he said this: in 2026, it will be over. In my head, it's very clear. I've done my time with the same desire and passion to maintain France at the highest level, but 2026 is a very good time to stop. One has to be able to say stop. There's a life after this. The important thing is for France to stay at the top, as they have been for many years.
He is one of only 3 figures in football history to have won the World Cup, both as a player and as a manager. In 1998, he lifted the trophy as France's captain. In 2018, he repeated the achievement from the touchline. And now, in 2026, will this become the perfect farewell? Standing behind him is Zinedine Zidane, ready to inherit the throne, but Zidane will only inherit a crown that Deschamps intends to polish one final time before handing it over. That same sense of purpose now flows through every player in the squad. Mbappé knows this is his manager's final journey. Dembele knows it too. This team is no longer fighting solely for a golden trophy. They are fighting for the man who dedicated 14 years of his life to building everything they have become. When ultimate ambition combines with genuine loyalty, the message sent to the rest of the world becomes even more intimidating. A Ballon d'Or winner, a 2-time consecutive La Liga Golden Boot winner, a a Champions League player of the season, a Premier League champion, a goalkeeper of the year candidate, all guided by one of the most decorated managers in modern football. All of those extraordinary individuals wear the same shirt and chase the same objective. Listen, France are not guaranteed anything. Trophies have never been awarded based on squad depth spreadsheets. But if you are looking for the most dangerous team at the 2026 World Cup, the one nation capable of striking fear into every opponent on the planet, it's them. That's why the title of this video isn't a hesitant question, like, are France really that good? Or can France win it? It's a statement. And their squad depth says everything that needs to be said. This France squad is scary. If you enjoy our video, don't forget to hit like to help this video reach to other football lovers, and hit the subscribe button to follow for more interesting videos about football stories. See you in the next video.